August 26, 1952. Hill 104 near Bunker Hill. The Marines are dug in when the Chinese hit them with everything: artillery, mortars, then waves of infantry. The defensive line starts to crack. Men are going down everywhere, screaming for help, bleeding out in their foxholes. And then Navy Hospital Corpsman 3rd Class Edward Clyde Benfold does something that seems impossible. He runs into the fire, again, and again, and again, 30 times in one night, dragging wounded Marines to safety while machine gun fire tears up the ground around him. This is the story of what one Navy corpsman did on the worst night of his life, and why Marines will tell you that their corpsman, their doc, is the bravest man they ever knew. Benfold was 21 years old, from Staten Island, New York, joined the Navy in 1950, got assigned to the Medical Corps, trained as a corpsman, the Navy medics who serve with Marine units. He'd been with 1st Battalion, 5th Marines for 6 months. The Marines loved him. He was calm under pressure, good at his job, always there when they needed him. August 26th started quiet. The Marines were holding defensive positions on Hill 104. It had been relatively calm for days. Then, just after dark, the Chinese artillery started, shells pounding the Marine positions, explosions tearing apart foxholes, men buried alive, others shredded by shrapnel. Benfold grabbed his medical bag and started moving. While everyone else was diving for cover, he was running toward the explosions, finding wounded Marines, stopping bleeding, stabilizing injuries, dragging men to covered positions. That's what corpsmen do. When everyone else's instinct is to take cover, a corpsman's instinct is to run toward whoever's screaming. The artillery barrage lasted 20 minutes, then it stopped, and in that terrible silence the Marines knew what was coming next: Chinese infantry, human wave attacks, hundreds of soldiers charging the positions. They came out of the darkness screaming, firing. The Marines opened up with everything they had: machine guns, rifles, grenades. The Chinese kept coming. Some Marine positions got overrun. Hand-to-hand fighting in the trenches. It was chaos. And through all of it, Benfold kept working. A Marine went down with a gut shot. Benfold ran through enemy fire to reach him, packed the wound, gave him morphine, dragged him back to cover. Before he could even catch his breath, another Marine was hit, then another, then 3 more. Each time, Benfold ran into the fire. Each time, he brought someone back. The other corpsmen were doing the same thing, but Benfold was everywhere, moving between positions, treating wounds under fire, carrying men twice his size to safety. He was 140 pounds soaking wet, but adrenaline and desperation make you strong. Around midnight, a Chinese grenade landed near a group of wounded Marines Benfold had been treating. He saw it, had maybe 2 seconds to react. He could dive away, save himself. Instead, he threw himself on top of the wounded Marines, shielding them with his body. The grenade detonated. Benfold took the full blast. He died instantly. The Marines he'd covered survived. By the time the sun came up and the Chinese attack was finally beaten back, the other corpsmen and Marines counted the men Benfold had saved that night. Over 30. 30 Marines who would have bled out, who would have died in foxholes, who made it home because one corpsman refused to stop running into the fire. Navy Hospital Corpsman 3rd Class Edward Clyde Benfold was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. The citation reads like something from a movie, but every word is true. It describes his heroic initiative, great personal valor, and self-sacrificing efforts that saved numerous lives. But here's what the citation doesn't capture: what it actually felt like to do what he did, to run into machine gun fire, to hear Marines screaming for help and know that going to them means you'll probably die, to keep going anyway, to do it 30 times in one night, to literally throw yourself on a grenade when every instinct screams to run. That's not just courage. That's something beyond courage. That's the kind of selflessness that most people can't even imagine. The Marines have a saying, "Doc will save you." They trust their corpsmen absolutely, because they know that when they go down, Doc is coming. Doesn't matter how heavy the fire is. Doesn't matter how bad the situation is. Doc is coming. Edward Benfold proved that saying true. He came for them, every single time, until he couldn't come anymore. The Navy named a destroyer after him, the USS Benfold, DDG-65. It's still in service today. Every sailor who serves on that ship learns about the corpsman it's named after. The 21-year-old kid from Staten Island who saved 30 men in one night and died saving more. That's what a Navy corpsman is. That's what Doc means to Marines. And that's why, 70 years later, old Marines still get emotional when they talk about the corpsman who saved their life. Edward Clyde Benfold, 21 years old, saved over 30 men in one night, died covering wounded Marines with his body. Never forget Doc. Never forget what they do for us. Never forget Benfold. That's a hero. That's a story worth telling.